and welcome to Deccan Chronicle. I am Sumaya Junaid Ahmed, and today here at DC Conversation we have a very young panel, and we are here to discuss about why Hyderabad or urban voters grapple to come out and vote on the election day. We are just 1 week before we cast our vote on 30th of November. The second topic that we'll discuss here is what is in the mind of young voters or the first time voters. So before we start, I'll introduce my panel here. We have Rachel Damala, who is our senior reporter who covers education and special reports. To my right, we have Pavni Kodati. She is our senior sub-editor from the desk. Again, we have Upender Yeludla. He's our sports correspondent. We have Rajkumar, who is our senior designer. Welcome. So let's start the discussion. We'll have our opening remarks first. Rachel, why do you think that urban voters doesn't step out and vote, though that the government declares it that it is a public holiday, it's a paid holiday? Why do you think that people in Hyderabad step back and doesn't vote?
I think it has a lot to do with it being a holiday. And if you remember, I think last year in 2018, it was on, I think it fell on a Friday. So it was a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So people more often than not look at it as a long weekend. And,
Extended weekend.
Yes, they'd like to go for a film or they'd want to go out of town or things like that. They look at it that way as a holiday and they do not want to, rather spend their day standing in line and voting. That's a sad way to describe it, but that's how a lot of urban voters have been thinking.
Okay, so here Rachel says that one doesn't want to spoil their whole day standing in the line and it's an extended weekend, so one doesn't want to, try to stand in the long queues and do it. So, Pavni, how do you see other than this?
See, I agree with what Rachel said. Many people look at it as a holiday, but also because they don't feel the responsibility. They don't want to take the responsibility and to go stand and vote because they feel like, how will it be? Like, what will it change? What is the point of us going and standing in the long queue, wasting our day, half day or full day, and you cast your vote, and then there is no change happening. So, what is the point of us going and doing that? Rather than we'd enjoy that one day given to us, it's paid holiday. So, people prefer this to that. So, I think that is also one of the reasons.
Okay, so lack of responsibility is what Pavni is telling. Moving to Upender, what is your perspective? It's only that people doesn't want to go step out, extended weekend, lack of responsibility, something more that you can add on?
See, according to me, urban voting is one of the issue which is declining the voting percentage. See, coming to Hyderabad, what GHMC limit, it's a cosmopolitan city here. Most of the people are voters, whoever they have been came from some other parts across the country and settled here. They are not even concerned. I'm not blaming everyone. They are not concerned about the politicians who are, because the politicians come from the city itself, who has been born and brought up, raised here itself, and they don't even had any interaction with them. They are not even rely on the politicians for their career goals and development. So these political agendas are coming on the aspects of development and welfare of the people, bringing some sort of schemes. They are not even impacting the lives of some of the voters who we are discussing about. They are not coming out of their comfort zone for voting. This is one of the points.
Like here in Hyderabad, to give some picture, like last time in 2018, the percentage was 49%, which was lower than what it was in 2014. So you mean to say that the schemes and all that doesn't impact that urban, like Hyderabadi voters, the one who reside here? Like, what is your point there? Rachel,
I think they lead a very comfortable life in a sense that they believe somebody living in a Jubilee Hills or Bandara Hills or high-tech city believes that whether or not I vote, the IT boom will continue to happen. Whether or not this happens. So they do not believe that their vote has a direct impact on their quality of life because they live in a city. At least most of the GHMC, at least the 15 constituencies that come under Hyderabad.
Is it so? There would, would you agree to this that imagine 100 people saying that, no, how would my vote change something?
Yes, I agree because many people believe that. They see it as just one vote. So if you add 1 plus 1 only, there's the number, no? The count goes. But people believe that how will my one vote change anything? Rather, I not do it only or they don't. Many people I don't think are even aware of Nota.
Mhm.
See, earlier on, election commission would do these awareness campaigns, go to schools, colleges, and on streets also they would hold these nukkad nataks and everything to raise awareness about voting. But of late, that has come down very much.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that the election commission is not doing it,
But it's very
but
less. Yes.
yeah, but the ways have changed now with the advent of social media and people being more influenced with what's happening on social media. They've also taken that route, which is correct, but the influence is also sometimes negative. When social media is so open, you get so much on that, you don't know what is right, what is wrong. So one person there who's a very influenced person just randomly says, "Oh no, I don't vote. That is not for me. I would rather enjoy." But that person has followers.
Rachel, you
Correct.
can throw a more.
But
insight.
I believe I think that's kind of shifting. I think 5 years earlier, or at least 10 years earlier, it was politics or elections, or at least definitely politics was considered a bad word. And or voting or conversations were considered, such conversations were considered uncool or boring or uninteresting. But thankfully today, I think post pandemic, for people, especially young people who go to offices every day, having these conversations or being even aware it is considered the right thing to do. So if anybody these days say
People
wants
are
to say,
interested,
yeah,
yes.
so if anybody says I'm apolitical about something or I'm neutral about something, a lot of eyebrows are raised
Yes,
today. It's
yeah.
very important to be politically right or be even aware. So it's slowly becoming cool, rightly so, and I think that could kind of get and also with pop culture, a lot of movies being made about voting. Of course, there were a lot of them before, but even there are a lot of expectations from right from film personalities to cricket personalities to sports everywhere, influencers, like she was mentioning, that they need to have a say about everything, and people are consuming it and want to have it, and it is being considered cool. So I think that's
So, yeah.
something they want to do.
So, like, we all are young here, we are all into our early or late 20s. So, what is in the mind of these young voters? We are just like 1 week apart, like next week, Thursday, this time, we all would have been casted our votes and we'll be getting the percentage that how many, what place have voted the most and the least. So, just can you tell me that what is in the mind of this all young people or the first time voters?
Yesterday nowadays I spoke with my friend. So first only voting. So I spoke with, so you're voting. And yes, compulsory. I vote for compulsory candidate because awareness came.
Awareness.
So it's awareness, social media. So all are things here. So everybody's like casting vote something. So previous 2018, so like this percentage, but now 2023, its percentage is very high.
Yes, open this.
See, I agree with him, and I hope the youngsters must come and step
Yes.
out of their homes and they have to cast their vote.
Actually, I would like to
yes.
add to that. Like political parties also, they go to rural areas, they campaign, they do these house to house campaigns, they hold rallies, public meetings, and everything. But here at urban, very less rallies
Yes.
are being held, and house to house campaigning is also not.
It's very hardly seen.
Yes, earlier it was, there were people who would come, if not the lead candidate who's standing, his supporters, but they would make sure that everyone in the area know who is the candidate and who they should be supporting. So they'd come with these pamphlets and they'd distribute, they would talk to housewives, they would go visit houses, and all of that has come down so drastically that people are not aware of who the candidate is for their constituency.
So here I have one point. So what Pavi said that so there is a traditional way of campaigning going in districts, but whereas in Hyderabad they are much more concentrating on public meetings or some road shows and rallies. But very ground level, grassroots level, that you're coming to homes and speaking to people, their candidates, their supporters. That is what is missing in this elections, and that might be the reason that there is they are not able to get that attraction from urban voters.
Yeah, I mean, there is
Yeah.
no connect between the parties and the voters here. I mean, why will the voter, what is the encouragement or what is the motive for the voter to come out and vote for that candidate? Neither did the candidate go to the voter to seek vote, which they are supposed to be doing.
At least. Yes.
Yeah, so he is not going there, and the voter is busy in his or her own life. They have a life, obviously.
You want to add one?
And yeah, okay, fine. I'll have a set of questions that I need to, because my producer is giving me a countdown here. So, Rachel, like you cover education beat, so you have a little intense interaction with a young lot. What do you
Yeah.
say in their mind?
I think two things what I've understood when I've spoken to students as well as the constituencies that I've visited is one, a slight shift, not a major one yet still, but a slight shift is that they're not really looking at parties as much as they're looking at individuals, or not even individuals to say, solutions. They're looking. I was surprised to a lot of young people talking about manifestos. That was a welcome change in youngsters. Earlier, it was which party came, which student group organization came and spoke to their, in their class, or things like that. So that they're more solution focused right
Okay,
now.
yes.
And what their stance on a lot of issues, be it political or apolitical, goes. I think another thing is the first young voters, sure, below the 35 demographic, but especially first time voters are fiercely excited about doing it. I don't know if they're gonna do that again, but at least they're very excited to experience that fine.
So, what is like women looking for from this election?
I think it's just a change, and frankly, there is a lot in the name of women empowerment today, which I will not disagree. There's a lot happening. There are open debates about topics that were considered a taboo before. Women are being given that platform to come up and open, and I think the small encouragement that the governments or the parties are offering for self-help women, like those NGOs and all of them coming out for them, I think that is what women are looking for, because a lot of housewives have, through these self-help groups and all, they were funded, they got fundings, and which helped them explore their financial independence, which makes them independent financially, and that is like a big push to women empowerment. I think that is what women are looking for.
So-
That open discussion about topics that are not, people don't consider taboo anymore, and the financial.
So yeah, I feel like safety and women empowerment has, like, without safety, women can't be empowered. So this goes hand in hand, and that's what I think. By and large, all women and girls will be looking forward from this election. And yeah, any final comments? Because Upinder and Raj sir, before we wrap up.
It's my opinion to say that, because young voters also part of the democracy, and it is their fundamental right to cast their vote. And please think about before making policies about these young guys, because they are the next future citizens of the country, and they are the backbone to the government. So, thank you.
And any last remarks, sir?
Young voters coming and casting vote. That's my idea.
And thank you, all of you, for joining in, taking your valuable time in speaking to, being the part of DC conversation. Deccan Chronicle is also running a campaign that vote for Telangana. We all request, the Deccan Chronicle team request that you all step out on Thursday, that is 30th of November, and cast your valuable vote. Every vote matters. And this is the vote for Telangana. This is the vote for your future. Thank you for joining. More news and updates will continue on the other side. Stay tuned to Deccan.